Yeah, it's the kid Jake Gomes, street team, what up? See ya, I see y'all, let's go. Put the pen to the pad to the pen, it's Gomes. Yes, I'm at it again. I was taught go harder, just go home. I tell you, dude's a secret, I ain't been home yet.
Yeah, so I'm Mr. Sindelar, Robert Sindelar. I'm a first year organic chemistry, that's what I taught last year, sorry. Chemistry and honors chemistry teacher here at Far West. I also spend half my day doing administrative duties because I only teach part-time. For me, it was probably the first presidential election that I paid as close of attention to. I followed it pretty much every single day from the primaries on. And that was very exciting for me because back when I was growing up in Mississippi, I hadn't been very politically active. I didn't really have a stellar voting record.
Right.
But this election really kind of recharged me in that respect. He was my candidate, and it meant a lot to me because I grew up in the South. I lived there for about 20 years, and I went to college there at Ole Miss. And as you know, we have our racial tension down there, deriving from a couple hundred years ago. But I moved away from the South to sort of get out of that ethnocentrism that existed and really to explore other subcultures within the United States. So that meant a lot to me to see that. It meant a lot to me to see an African-American man, especially, being elected not only by the Electoral College but by the popular vote. And that was great. I think especially teaching at a school like Far West that has a 75% African-American composition in its student body, that was very motivating and for the students. You know, a lot of them had this sort of feeling afterwards that they elect an African-American president, you know, I can do anything.
Right.
Which is a feeling that every student, every youth should have. Not just those that are privileged due to cultural histories. Decided that I wanted to do something a little bit more fulfilling than working at a laboratory the rest of my life. So I decided to become a teacher here in Oakland. And since I made that transition, I found that I became much more connected with the community here in Oakland. Yeah, it's been great. I feel before I didn't really have much of a connection with Oakland. I went to Cal, Berkeley, never really traveled into Oakland. Oakland had always this notorious persona, if you will, and you know, I tried to avoid it. Now I feel much more in tune with Oakland than I do Berkeley. I actually don't do anything in Berkeley anymore except for drive through it,
right.
Which has been great. Oakland feels very real to me, and I try to spend more time in Oakland because of the kids that I teach. It's important for me to feel a little bit more connected with where they come from. Yeah, I heck of love Oakland. And it's more the people that have made me fall in love with it than anything else. Well, what you see each day are kind of the small things, the small changes. You see a student who was struggling have this kind of aha moment, light bulb and all, and you see that change. You see confidence grow within them. And that carry over into other aspects of their lives here at school. You see test scores improve. You see students finding new relationships, whether it is a mentoring type relationship or one of kind of equal peer status. Just small changes like that are what you actually observe, and yet they seem so large because you have direct interactions with them during that time. As far as the larger changes, you know, that's a little bit harder to see, and it takes a little bit longer time to tell those sort of things. Whether any of my work here has really made that big of a difference with people. I know on a day-to-day basis there are, you know, differences being made, but how much overall, you know, I'm gonna let somebody else make that judgment. We did have one situation, and those students who were mentioning it were probably directly affected by it. We had a teacher here on campus who was having health problems, and we couldn't hire a replacement because the job was technically his. And until we had confirmation from his doctor and go through all the proper legal procedures, we couldn't actually hire somebody for that spot. So we were stuck with having 30-day substitutes. So it's not that the substitutes came and then got scared away.
So this is not a regular thing that happens here?
No,
this was just, okay.
No. We've actually been very lucky this year. I think we have a pretty solid staff. I'm one of 5 new teachers, something like that. 4 of us will be back next year. You know, we all came from programs like Teach for America, or I was part of the Oakland Teaching Fellows program. Yeah, so we'll all be back. So it's not a common problem, but it's been such a big problem for those who are affected.
Right.
And I think it permeated a lot of their lives here at school. It's that classroom.
Oh, right here.
Yes. Well, my whole life I've been kind of a positive person.
Yeah, you seem like you're.
That's my motto, kind of in my classroom. I don't think I've written a single referral my entire time I've been here. That's not to say that, you know, anything goes or anything in my classroom. We function very well at a very high level, I think, and I've been very pleased with that, with, you know, minor disturbances here and there that can be expected. But, you know, positive discipline, positive incentives. It's easy to dwell on the negative things, right? That's what sticks in our brains more than anything else. It's emotional scarring, you know, it's what we tend to dwell on when our minds are idle, right?
Right.
So, I guess I make a choice not to dwell on such things. I mean, Graham, we have all kinds of problems, right? You can see these every day here. I mean, just by talking with the kids, you can see. They probably talked a lot about the negative things,
right?
Because one, this is a great avenue for them to get all that off their chests.
Right.
Me, you know, I see that there's room for improvement. There's definitely that, but you know, it's gonna be a tough life if you decide not to see anything positive in anything.
Yeah.
Kid Jake Gomes, street team, what up? See ya, I see y'all. Let's go. Put the pen to the pad to the pen. It's Gomes. Yes, I'm at it again. I was taught go harder, just go home. I tell you, dude's a secret. I ain't been home yet. Consider myself great 'cause I'm one of the best.